If you have any ambitions of being a truly great filmmaker in your life, then you're probably always going to be doing some kind of passion project or spec work. Sure, there are people at the highest level in this industry who may work with some level of freedom, but I doubt that there's any director or filmmaker working today who has absolute creative freedom over all their projects that they're being paid for. And obviously, spec work and passion projects is good because of the creative outlet that it gives you, but I think there's other reasons that it's great as well. And at least in my experience, I feel like this work has a sort of stigma around it. Maybe it's that, like, oh, nobody's paying you to do real work, so you have to go and do this other stuff. And then on the other end of the spectrum, it's like, oh, you shouldn't do that because you're diluting the waters and you're lessening the value of this service that we provide to people. And I think that both of those are wrong in their own ways. And I would like all of us to look on this kind of work a bit more favorably. I believe that the amount of good that can be accomplished with free work or passion projects is greater than any of the downsides of it. This video was actually supposed to be a behind the scenes of a mini doc that I just finished up, so I'm going to briefly touch on that and then get back to my main point. It all started back in January. I saw this guy with this really cool rigged out Subaru Baja. I thought it was sick and I wanted to get some really cool like rollers and shots of this car driving through the mountains and the snow and whatnot because it was January when I first had this idea. So I wrote my contact info on a piece of paper and then told the guy to reach out to me, and I just stuck it in one of his windshield wipers, and I didn't hear anything back for months. And then finally I got a DM from an account called Dead End Baj, and sure enough it was him. The reason why he hadn't reached out to me over the past couple months was because he assumed that I wanted paid for this project, but I was like, no, I just want to do this for fun. And then of course he was 100% on board. We shot the whole thing on 2 different days. We had one full afternoon of just shooting rollers and B-roll. And then I think it was 2 or 3 weeks later, I shot the interview. And then after that, I just put it together and released it. And obviously this was not commissioned. I did not make a dime from this. Did it purely for the love of the game. And it really encouraged me in doing passion projects and kind of got me thinking along this whole subject. Now, this list is far from exhaustive, but here are a couple of the reasons why I think that passion projects and spec work is so awesome and you should do more of it. Creative expression. This is obvious. This is the reason why most people do free work or passion projects, is because it gives you pretty much absolute freedom to make whatever the heck you want to. If you don't have a client, who's paying you and they have certain expectations, you don't have to worry about what they think. It's not that your absolute creative freedom makes a project the best it can be. I think that sometimes when you have a little bit of friction or other people throwing their ideas in, it can make your idea even better. But I think this is more just the peace of mind I'm talking about. So the creative freedom in that there are no expectations for this piece. It's not an ad that has to perform really well. The client is you, and you can make whatever the heck you want to for yourself, and nobody can really complain about it because it's free. Building your skills. Anytime you step outside with your camera and you're shooting something, you're probably going to at least get a little bit better. You can learn all you want to and watch as many videos as you can, but ultimately you're not going to really improve until you get out there and just shoot. No matter what your natural gifting or talent is for video production or filmmaking, you can only improve by shooting and shooting and shooting. And because these kinds of projects are usually more constraining when it comes to time and resources, you really have to get creative. So it's just building up that creative muscle and instinct. And all these just contribute to your skill set so that when you are on set with a paying client, you're just the best that you can be. Telling stories. Now, to me, I think this is the most important element, and the reason why I wanted to make this video, actually, I think that if we close ourselves off to doing things that don't pay well or don't pay at all, we miss out on opportunities to make some really cool stuff. As a filmmaker, you have a superpower. You have the ability to freeze a moment in time, to tell stories that change the way people look at the world, to give a voice to people who otherwise would never have one. And if you just want to lock your camera away in a case because nobody's signing you a check, I feel like you're kind of missing out on some things. And whereas my Subaru Baja video may not be the best example in the world, it's still a cool story that otherwise never would have been told. Keegan is just a guy I met here in town, and he works the night shift at a grocery store and is the kind of person who probably never would have had a video like this made about them. And it just makes me wonder how many other cool people with interesting perspectives or life stories are out there whose stories have never been told. I do realize that there are a lot of guys out there who don't have any issue with passion projects. I'm just talking about for the industry as a whole. It feels like doing free work or passion projects is kind of like looked down upon as lesser somehow. But I think it's really important, and I think it benefits everybody involved. And who knows, maybe a prospective client will see your passion project and say, wow, that guy's really good, I'm gonna hire him. So if you either have never made a passion project or haven't in a while, maybe think about giving it a shot. There could be a really great story out there that's just waiting for the right person to tell it. Anyways, you can go check out my little passion project down below if you're so inclined. Thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys next time.